Tell me about Bariloche.
It's a tiny little town in the mountains of Argentina.
What did you think about it?
What do I think? It was the most beautiful town I have ever lived in.
Then why did you leave?
I couldn't stand by and watch what was happening to it.
What happened to it, Ignacio?
The memories are vivid, but not pleasant. We were ignorant in the fact that we thought we were a little town, but apparently we were not little enough. Halfway across the world, the Second Great War was coming to an end, but we did as we had always done and stood by and watched. No one really cared. The war didn't affect us. We saw the Allies win and paid little attention and carried on as normal, at least for a little.
What happened next?
Well, many of the upper echelons of the Nazi Party fled Germany, fearing the consequences of their actions. They sought a place to hide. At the time, Juan Perón was in power, and he sympathized with the Nazi generals in hiding. He did everything in his power to get them over here. He gave them a safe place to live out the rest of their days.
So how did they make it to Bariloche?
It was the perfect place, isolated mountain town, self-sufficient, small, low tourism. They were out of sight and out of mind to the rest of the world.
While it is believed that thousands of Nazis escaped to Argentina through the rat lines of Europe, only a few were ever caught. These were the likes of Adolf Eichmann, the major organizer of the Holocaust, Joseph Mengele, an Auschwitz physician known as the Angel of Death, Eduard Roschmann, known as the Butcher of Riga for his work in the Riga ghetto, Ante Pavelic, a Nazi idealist from Croatia, and Erich Pribka, the main person responsible for the massacre at the Ardeatine Caves. We asked Ignacio what he might have said had he knowingly come across one, and we got a surprising answer.
Well, I did. I stumbled across maybe one of the worst, Erich Pribka.
How did you come across him?
Well, he ran a ski school at the resort on the outskirts of town. In the middle of winter, it had been snowing for weeks, but on this day it stopped and the sun came out with no clouds in sight. People came out in the hundreds to have fun in the snow, so I took my family out to get some ski lessons. And lo and behold, our instructor, Erich Pribka, in front of my kids. This man massacred hundreds of innocent people.
How did you know it was him?
He got aggravated and muttered something under his breath in German. I said to him, "That's an interesting thing, an Argentinian speaking German." He said, "There's nothing interesting about it." I went for it and I said, "You're one of them, aren't you?" He said, "Yes, definitely," in an agitated, sarcastic tone. "I could be any one of them." I said, "Well, which one?" And you know what? He told me to guess. I said, "Pripka." "Maybe," he said. Then he issued us out of the resort and gave a final comment. A threat. "We're all here, every one of us, so watch your back, because soon enough, if you're not with us, you won't just be against us, you'll be against the whole town."
But that doesn't mean it was him.
That's what I thought too, but who would joke about that? And for a long time I doubted that it really was Pripka. But as time went on, a small Jewish shop that was in town had its windows smashed in. And only a few weeks later it closed up shop. No one went there. I still opposed the Nazis and their beliefs at this point, and something came up one day that reminded me of my encounter with the maybe Pripka. And I thought, they're against me. And it was about this time we left. The town wasn't necessarily dangerous, we just had the foresight to leave before it was. Now, in many people's minds, they only know the Nazi side of Bariloche. I'm one of the remaining few that knows of the nice Bariloche. It's like they're two completely different towns. One is known for hate, fascism, moral corruption, but the one I know is a beautiful, simple, little isolated town. Bariloche now has a history, and if the Bariloche that society thinks of is one that makes them feel contempt, then I'm no longer from Bariloche.
So they ruined it for you, the Nazis.
Yes, kind of. But no matter what happens to the town, I still have my memories. But it saddens me to think that they may eventually fade into oblivion, while the town's past may not. Maybe one day there may well never have been a peaceful little mountain town in Argentina, just a place for the worst people on earth to hide.